But the coin that I added to the portfolio today is called vEmpire.
And they are the largest decentralized metaverse investment organization in the world.
Hello, everybody, and what a lovely day it is. Let you kick off, and I'll do some button tapping in the background. You know what comes after Ruby and Qcoin? When Binance.
Hello, everybody. I hope everybody is doing okay considering the market conditions. God, been through the ringer, haven't we? Everyone's depressed. To try and bring a bit more cheer in. So you might have seen the AMA that I did with Krypto Playboy. He is now joining us, so hopefully you don't get tired of us, but I'm sure we can bring him in now.
Hola. How you all going?
Hello. There we go. Even getting the proper Aussie background in.
With Skippy fighting in the background.
You got the hair has never looked more Australian. Have you got a cork hat by some chance?
Surprisingly, I don't. I have like a cowboy hat, so and a robe. So it goes against tradition, but still the part.
Have you got a crocodile skin knife sleeve?
No, I don't. Sorry about that, actually.
That's all right. I guess can't win them all, can we?
I'm lacking in that department.
Yeah. How was the portfolio doing?
Not good. Not gonna lie. I've seen better days. I've been happier, but you know, life goes on.
Fair enough. It certainly does. I haven't actually looked where we are. Luckily, I've been distracted by a meeting. Oh wow. It's it's bad when you see ETH at 1144 and you think, wow, that's good. God, it's just a waiting until complete disaster. Where's Bitcoin at right now? Look here. So I always have to look at Wrap Bitcoin because I always have DEX tools open. 21,586. Not bad, I guess. Has been worse.
Everything's red.
I know. To be fair, actually, I took a long out at about 1060, and then I sold it at like 1120 because I got scared. But the thing is, that move now seems, because I remember I was talking to someone this morning, and I think we were at like 22,000, and they were saying, "Oh, I think we're going to 21." And I was like, "Well, obviously," but it's not now because that's like a 5% move, which is a big move, but it's just been literally destroying thousands so quick now that it seems like that's still a fluctuation at 60, where it's literally like, not even a couple of percent. But now it's just so bad.
Otherwise, putting it's not nice.
This is why NFTs are good, because they're priced in ETH, so you don't need to worry about the actual USD factor.
The crypto dicks, crypto butt dicks.
Yeah, crypto dick butts. Well, easy mistake to make. We'll forgive you. So it's your first rodeo after all. Actually, no, not anymore. It's your second, so can't get it. But yeah, I know our listeners are interested in everyone's background and how they first actually got themselves into this industry. Were you a late bloomer? Were you an OG?
Wasn't an extreme OG like 2012. I came in around 2016, 17. I was on a trip with some mates in New Zealand, and my dad calls me up. He's like, "Hey, what's Bitcoin?" And then all my mates are like, "Oh, we buy drugs and stuff." That's everyone was doing with buying Bitcoin and stuff. Like, hopefully, there are children listening to this. But yeah, he goes, "Hey, let's buy some when we get back." I'm like, "You want to buy drugs?" And he's like, "No, Bitcoin." I'm like, okay. So when we got back home, we started buying some Bitcoin and some Ether in that back in the day. And then from there, we just saw the prices start to move. And then we got into one called, I think it was AntShare back then, which is now, was AntShare then? What was it now? I forget the name of it now. But it was AntShare back in the day. They changed the name. And when it came out, it done like a 40 or 50x. And that really caught our attention for it. So from there, we just really started getting involved in these pre-sales and just getting involved in the whole crypto industry. And that 2017 run up, whoa, over the moon. Like you put in some projects $1,000, and next thing you know, it's 30 grand, 40 grand, 50 grand. And it was like your greed started kicking in, like it's going to go up and up and up and up. It hit that peak and then just dropped down. So from there, it's kind of like start to learn what is crypto, what it actually does, not just buying into anything you see. And you start to kind of learn trends and patterns in it, and then it's kind of just went from a hobby to a full-time thing for me now.
Fair enough. See, we did actually hit all-time high today. Just it was 2017 rather than any other. Not my joke. I'm just repeating it like half of crypto Twitter. Just copy and paste. Never retweet. Just think I'll screenshot that, crop, post it as my own. I'm hilarious.
Yeah, well, man.
Definitely. But yeah, I think on my end, I think my first coin, that's always a good one, was XRP.
Nice.
So proper gay. Just proper, like most centralized, like just, or what I can't stand is the past 2 years of XRP, where honestly, every other week it's, oh yeah, just wait, once the set case drops, it will absolutely fly. It's been a whole market cycle and they've been saying that, and it is literally a stable coin. Just around 30 cents. But I think I first bought that at like 45 cents in 2018. But I too remember maybe when I was 16, so this would have been like 20. Dex, you're the only person who's ever made a joke about me being young, trust me. Usually I get the exact opposite. Literally, I think I came out of the womb with a beard. But yeah, 2012, I remember again people buying Bitcoin for Silk Road. And I just think like a lot of people surely, I mean, obviously it got shut down, but if there were markets still open from that time, like if you bought, you might have a few dollars in there, which is like, you know, back then could have been half a Bitcoin. And someone's just got to log back into like your teenage, like buying some hash years. And then suddenly, if people did that of their own volition, obviously nobody would do that here. And then look, you just got, well, actually it's like 10K now. What is that? Would have been 30K before, but I mean, yeah.
I remember I had a friend who was telling me a story. He bought like some stuff online, and it was ended up being like 100 Bitcoin back in the day. And he says, "I wish I kept it." He goes, "That you know, whatever it was, $40 he spent back in the day for it. So if I had that 100 Bitcoin now, because my life would be a different situation. It wasn't worth the 2 hours of fun he had with the products he bought."
I would spread it out, but well, there's always a thing. It's always like, would I, wouldn't I? The only way anybody would have ever held, even past the 2017 run, if they had it in 2012, is if they lost it and they found it again. Like nobody has that gigantic balls. I refuse to believe it.
No, I'm with you.
No one. I would have bought it at 20. I would have sold it at 40. I would have sold it at 50, 60, 70. Everything I would have trimmed all the way up until like 200 and then just FOMO'd back at 20.
You're more than happy to double your money. It's like, oh, awesome. No one can predict it's going to be $60,000 one day back then. If they do tell you that, I think they're full of it. Well, they like to be like, yeah, I predicted this. It's like, yeah, sure you did.
I mean, you can understand, but then again, it's always the argument of hodler versus trader. Because the problem is if you try and play volatility, especially if you're not playing it with spot, you can get wrecked a lot of times on the way. But that is part of the lesson, really, of trading with derivatives. Funnily enough, I actually tried that today. For the first time ever, I thought, tell you what, I'm going to margin long here. When I bought that ETH earlier today, I tried to do 20x leverage, and I got told it was illegal in my country, which I thought was strange, because the thing is they said, are you a professional investor? And I count under, because I used to be a wealth manager, so I actually have done professional examinations with the Chartered Institute of Securities and Investments. So I am a professional investor, even if you don't look at like any of the other qualifications. And so I put the certificate in, and I don't know whether it's just like the process that they're still reviewing it, but after I put that in and I tried, they still told me, nah. I even tried to change my VPN, changed it to Russia. It still said no.
Maybe a bad choice, that one.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, but then again, I thought, surely not. Surely, if they don't mind people going for like 20x, in Soviet Russia, we do 100x. The market maker won't be happy if they're watching this, and they always watch this. They'll be on it in 3 weeks. They can tell me then, actually. You mentioned in our conversation on your channel last time about your Discord.
Oh yes, this is the Playboy zone. So like the idea behind our Discord was like when I was getting to crypto, I was just YouTube and Google everything, like literally learning as you go, learning how do you send a wallet to someone, how do you send a transaction, and the type. I remember one of them was in Chinese, you didn't understand it, we were on Tron, and you had to like there was nothing out there really guide you then that easily. So then all my mates and that have been doing crypto, moving along with it. They've all said, hey, how do I do this? What do I do? How do I get involved in it? So after a while, fed up telling them 100 times, started making videos on it. Then we started the Discord. And from there, we've kind of seen there's been a need for people to need like the average player needs help. And that's what we're trying to do for people is like get them to understand how to actually use it, how to use an exchange, what's MetaMask, all those type of things. I know there's videos out there. We want like one place for them, and they want to provide them content where they can, see what trade tips there are, copy trade someone if they need to, NFT sections, free airdrops and all that. It's kind of like a hub for newbies in crypto. If they want to come and learn, that's the place to be. And then from there, like once you get more involved, we do a lot of pre-sales with the VC, and then we provide them like a community VC through that fund as well. So it's like the next stepping stone for them. We just want to kind of grow crypto community more because it has to grow. Like it's the future, and I think people they really miss out on opportunities because they're kind of scared off or they don't know what they're doing, and people don't like to ask either as well. They just want to make their own mistake and then complain about it to everyone.
What crypto people complain?
Patiently.
I mean, yeah. The problem with I was going to say it's a great idea, but God, I can imagine the can of worms you'll get if it ever doesn't go well.
I've had to buy that already. They're your best when everything's going well and then things turn. Like I've done this, and this. I told you not to put your life savings in it. Spread it out. Be patient. Wait. No. Whatever. That's your problem, man. I told you not to do it. I tell everyone spread your risk on things.
I swear to God, that happens whenever we have these shows. I'm either interviewing founders or whenever I'm speaking to influencers. Just we always just fall into like an hour of bitching about the crypto public. Literally who we're doing a show for. Like right now. I mean, hopefully they know it. They've seen this enough to know that I'm constantly talking about how much I hate the crypto market and just all of the bad parts it brings. So hopefully I've got the solid community who appreciate and understand. But this is where bear markets have their benefits. Like there was enough crap out there, protocol and token wise, let alone every man and his dog chucking money into whatever, trying for it to go up, and then giving abuse when it goes down. I think I had to block someone again the other day, pretending to be one of our community managers. Same old stuff. Dom VEMP scam, Dom scam coin VEMP. Just commented like scammer coin, Dom scam VEMP. It's like what? It's like every single token in the market, like ETH is down from like 80%. It's like Vitalik scam coin. Vitalik rug pull. But tell you what.
Oh, you see that? Like people, like I had this one girl I knew. She used to always like getting crypto. I explain it to her as it's going up. Telling her get involved, and she's no. At the peak of it, can you teach me what to do? Like okay, this and this, but like you're just very risking a dollar cost average into things. Like you should get in early. When I was telling you to do it, his price is moving up a bit. I think we're reaching the peak of a market there, and she's like, oh no, I'm going to buy in heavy now. What she do? She bought in, and then it crashes, and she sells at the bottom of things. Like this was last cycle, and then she starts complaining about saying it's a scam, it's horrible, this and that. What happens again last year? She comes back and it starts moving up to like 50, 60K. I want to get involved again. Can you help me out? It's like, I told you've got to be involved when it's doing crap. When everyone's hating on it and dissing it, that's when you should be getting involved and learning about it and making those entries into it. But no one wants to because I think people are kind of like sheep, if you think about it. Like I said, there's a nice green paddock there. They're all enjoying this paddock. The leader jumps onto the grass and starts eating. He's enjoying his life over there, and they're looking at him going, "Oh, doesn't look that good." But then a couple more start joining him. Like, okay, it's good. By the time the whole flock gets there, the paddock's empty. And then I think that's what people kind of miss out on.
The grass is all chewed up and they're shitting everywhere.
Yeah, it's more. Yeah, they're eating the shit is the nice way of putting it.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's true. I always get worried when, whenever the crypto market's pumping, and I start getting messages from people who know that I work in crypto, but they don't themselves. That's now when I get really worried.
Mm-hmm.
It happens a lot, especially on sometimes where it's a pre-sale, but I'm locked or I have a cliff, so I can't even like sell. And then they get the benefit. They join the actual pre, and then it goes up. And then whilst I'm locked, and then I see it go all the way back down, like as like what we're at now, where every token sale that launched this year pretty much is back at private or seed.
Yes.
But yeah,
All doing
got
well.
old. Now I'm doing all of these staking things where they've got like the 180-day lock for like 10,000% APR. You can claim at the end. I'm just putting all of it into like the longest lock possible, because I think as long as they last, I'll get tons and tons. And if they don't, it'll be stupid, but better than like dumping on a chart when it's already suffering so badly. You've got to be one type of person to do that.
I think people, when they see things dumping, the mentality is like, "Oh, get out of this." But then when it comes back to buying it, they're scared to do it. And that's why if you get your tokens, you stake them. That's why I do the same thing. Any project I invested in, you're not going to dump on it because you're either going to just break even or be at a loss. And then you're going to wreck a project. You're better off spreading that risk over multiple projects, investing into them, stake them. When the time comes back around, you could do 10 of them and say 3 of them and go to shit. The other 7 they're still doing well. You won't get the one that takes off like anything that covers the rest of them. But I think people have a hard time understanding it's that simple. Just spread your risk on projects. They want that one break even. They want to pick it perfectly, and it's going to set them up for life.
Well, that's what I found with my old, when I worked in sort of traditional investments in more high risk stuff. Like we have these 2 products in the UK called VCT and EIS, Venture Capital Trust and Enterprise Investment Schemes. And essentially it's high risk investments into early stage companies. And for doing it, you get a tax rebate by the government because you're funding new businesses. So you basically get paid to take on like, really big risk. You get like 30% tax relief. And so we used to sell them, and it would be like, you tell people when you're talking to them about it, you say you will have at least half of this portfolio fail because it's just the way it is. It's what you're investing in. But all it takes is like, you could have 9 failures. If one of them does 10x, that's your money back. If one of them, anything more than that, is just profit. But yeah, obviously people don't manage risk in crypto whatsoever.
So I think people get very, very greedy in crypto. Like I had a story, I got involved with a project and it came out, done a couple X, ended up doing like 280X later on. I told my friends, pull your money out now. You have to pull some out. Like this is nuts, pull some profit. None of them pulled profit. I pulled my profit out straight away when I saw that. And they told me, oh, it's going to go a little bit more. I can read the charts. But this guy has never been a trader or anything. He's an excavator operator. And he told me, yeah, it's going to go up a bit more. I read the charts. The signs are there. Like, what signs are you looking at? A couple hours later, boom, crashed. People, that greed kicks in for them. They want more.
I see as well, like this tribalism where people post like an image of like 2 15-minute candles zoomed in really, really fast, really, really close, I should say. You just go, oh my God, rug pull. And it's like a 1% move. Like, and as I found out, I'm like, what are you on about? Like, why are you saying this? Like, you know what you've done. Like, yeah, and this is why bear market's needed. It needs to flush out all this toxicity so that only people who actually care about the industry doing well and not just lining their pockets are left. and then it will come round, and then when everyone starts ripping each other to shreds again, that we're ready for the next flush out. Because there are too many protocols all doing the same thing, too many people so angry with everyone for no reason. Like, every token was a slow rug. Like, any movement to the downside in any token was a slow rug. I'm still not convinced they exist, it just seems to be a word people throw around whenever anything goes down at a normal pace. Like, it's just like there's either a rug straight to zero, or if you go down 2%, you're a slow rug. Tell you what, I've never hated that word more ever since I had my own token, because literally any drop in value, even when ETH crashes from 4.8 to 1K, if your token has also gone down by 80%, slow rug. Everything Bitcoin, slow rug.
I think it's people with the mindsets like this much. They don't actually look and learn. They just read one little thing and they go, "No, it's gone down. I'm losing my value. It's a rug pull." But if they open their eyes a bit and actually start learning about the industry or learning what's out there, they'll start to realize what actually happens. And even when they come from like a financial background, I think some of these people see those trends as well. And they understand it. Like, I've got friends in the financial industry and they pick up Bitcoin trends. Like, oh, okay, so what's happening with that? I've seen that in the past. Like yourself, with the property investment you used to do with the VC, like, you've brought that knowledge into crypto. Like, it gives you a better understanding. I think a lot of people, like, they're just average people and they hop in here thinking they're going to become rich off this. And when it doesn't happen quickly, they blame everyone else but themselves. Just learn every day is the best thing you can do.
Definitely. But it's just frustrating when you try and it's odd that people, I don't think a lot of people, one of the first things that they don't grasp when people see a token go down and they can't understand why it's correlated to Bitcoin and ETH. Like, obviously, yes, VEMP is very different to Bitcoin, but that doesn't mean that sentiment. It's like, everyone in the world looks at Bitcoin for cryptocurrency, and then they look at Ethereum. And people look at that. Well, the people with money, who generally it tends to correlate with, they've made good decisions, smart decisions to get to that point. Obviously, that's a stereotype, but you get what I mean. And they look at Bitcoin and ETH, and if they see Bitcoin and ETH going to shit, then they sell out of higher risk and lower market cap in order to have a flight to safety. It's risk on, risk off, which is why you have Bitcoin and ETH pump, then the 10 to 100 pump, then the 200 to 500, and then the 500,000, because drips down. But people just do not realize risk off, risk on. And it's just, such a frustrating part of it. And trying to remove yourself from it as well is very difficult, because people just, it's like if you found a business, if I'm Jeff Bezos and I shit and I sell like Amazon stock, like, nobody screams you're dumping on the community. I mean, it's like, it's just an example of like where it just doesn't make sense. Like, it's like, please innovate in our industry, but don't you dare make any money from doing it. It's not like, I mean, I always state on these things as well, like, and anyone, in crypto who has made a project knows that you should never, ever, ever sell into your DEX liquidity because it's your core market for most people. If you ever need to sell anything as a founder, you get market makers to do it, because they can do it with zero price impact by using high frequency trading bots. But if you send tokens to exchanges, whether it's for selling or for just market making in general, you're dumping. But even though it has zero impact on the actual liquidity pot, people just don't understand. And then you get all sorts of FUD. For example, we have a staking platform, aren't we? So we need to pay people APRs. That is the whole concept of our protocol. In order to do that, we need to withdraw tokens from our emission schedule and then send them to the staking pools in order for people to claim the rewards. And then get messages saying you're dumping, you keep withdrawing from the emissions. And it's like, how do you think we're paying you this APR? Where do you think it comes from? But I mean, people don't understand. But well, the benefit of VEMP is that we're one of the few. You're seeing it in all the DeFi protocols at the moment, all of these Ponzi's that are collapsing. They are collapsing because the yield that they pay is complete bollocks. It's just fake. It is, 10,000% inflation coming from where? Just from a smart contract. There's no actual real profits, real APR. With VEMP, we actually use the tokens to buy and sell real assets. And therefore, when we pay a secondary yield in ETH, it's not coming from inflation. It's actually coming from profit. So therefore, the secondary yield will eventually completely replace the primary, and you won't need to rely on any sort of inflation, which is why our emissions run out after 21 years. But yeah.
How long to go?
NFTs, you mentioned it. You were going to be touching on them in your Discord. Also, where can people find that?
Well, it's Krypto Playboy group. There's only one out there. But I got
I need like a link to it.
Okay. It's a link.
Thing, where what is it called? A vanity URL.
Vanity URL.
So basically on Discord, if you get enough boosts, you get a custom URL.
Oh yeah, we got one of those here. The special one.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. I don't really like Discord too much. It was a bit confusing at first, but my mate's like, you have to use it. I'll set it up for you. I'll run it for you. All right, let's do it. And then he got me into it now, so Discord it is. But yeah, it's one of those things that people will click in there and enjoy and have fun. But NFTs, I know you really kicked me off the NFT train. All my mates have been getting into them, but after hearing your big butts, I decided to really understand more about it. I want people to see what's out there with these opportunities, because even if you purchase something at ETH and you sell it for 2 ETH, you still made a profit on it. People aren't seeing that they can flip things out there like this. There are some horrible opportunities out there, but you find people that know what they're doing, you look people at the market, what they're doing, copy what they're doing, you can make a good profit on it. And you don't need much of a brain to do it. There's no trading experience in that. It's literally buy this or sell this.
Yeah, you don't need to. There's no technical analysis. It's purely. Yeah, it's purely. I mean, I guess you can look at historic trends in floor price, but a lot of it is just being more psychological with the way that you approach it. I mean, the first things first is just nowadays, especially, you got to go for blue chips. Nothing else resells. You can go into as many brand new NFT launches you want. You will be very lucky to ever sell it on the secondary market, if at all, unless you get really lucky to get a very, very rare one. But yeah, blue chips, you just got to know when to sort of offer people an out. So basically, you just need to take advantage of people's desperation in a market like today's. You just need to offer people don't worry, here's free ETH offer, take it, go, run for the hills. And then you get lucky and you get and manage to snipe ones for a lot less than they're listed for or their value. You got the double benefit this time of the fact that if something was on for 10 ETH, a month ago, not only is it technically 50% discounted, you're sniping it and making an offer for a 50% discount on something that's dropped in USD value by 50% as well. So,
because even the ones you were showing me the other week, you were saying the floor price and some of the selling price on those rare ones, because you got the top risk rare ones, top 12 or 14, something like 40 ETH. And if people actually see what you're talking about, it's pretty funny.
I mean, it depends, because obviously, people can list for whatever they want.
Yeah.
What's accepted can be a different story. But generally, you'll get sensible bids. Some people you'll see it sometimes on NFTs where it has under offer, and you'll see it's 10 DAI. And the reason why is that people are trying to make people just, I don't know, catch somebody tired and they think it's 10 ETH. and then they accept it. And it's been done on before on like Bored Apes, where someone's sold it for $100 thinking it was 100 ETH. And I get the offers all the time. Everybody does, just people just chance it. And occasionally, one in like 100,000 will mess it up. They'll accept it.
Well, there's a new business for someone listening to this out there. Go lowball everyone, and someone click yes.
Definitely. I mean, that is some people's whole strategy. But the thing is, it's not even like a scam. I mean, it's not really. It's just it's being an absolute cock, but it's not a scam because people have to accept a transaction. Like, it's not robbing. It's just being like, you're trying to take advantage of people.
You're a low life.
It's like somebody selling something at a higher markup to an elderly person. It's not illegal, but you're a bad person for doing it. You know exactly what you're doing when you make that sale.
Well, this one's even worse because the person that accepts it, like, it's kind of one of the old people we feel sorry for because they've got no idea what's going on. But the person accepting this sale is like, you should have read it twice.
And they'll remember it for much longer than the elderly person. I'll be thinking about that certainly for more than 10, 20 years at best. Depends on the person, I guess. But yeah, I don't know where everyone else's sort of headspace is in the market. And well, you must be don't be looking on NFTs at the moment because it must be a time where you are now.
Oh, it's only 12:30 in the morning.
So
yeah. Casual day for me.
Don't be buying any NFTs or accepting offers. Do you have any at present at all, or only ones from like maybe like investment companies that you've?
I've got some from like the games we've invested in that, but my sister, she was into NFTs as well, so I know she holds a couple. She enjoys them, like plays with them as well. She's been trading them, but I think she wants to get more involved now as well. After especially watching these videos and running the group, she wants to start getting more hands-on with it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but me personally, like, I'm trying to like get involved more with them. At first, I was always like, when they first came out, these NFTs, it was always like, what is this monkey we're purchasing, or what is this thing we're looking at here? Like, it's a picture. But then slowly you kind of saw like the hype from it and the utility they make out of it now, and even like groups people are making from it. It's like it's kind of become like a elite club if you hold a certain NFT. So you can see how it's becoming more of a bigger picture thing for people. It's bigger than just a JPEG.
Definitely. I've just had a question here. Can I say a little about high frequency trading bots when it makes sense? So effectively, high frequency trading bots work how you have, if you look on an exchange, you can tell by the candles and the order book how much liquidity there is. If you buy at market and it has a big old candle because it's got a very thin order book, it's like that thing that I'm trying to break it down as simple as possible. On the right hand side of like any exchange, you've got that flashing thing that keeps running down and it's got orders, and they but yeah, it's that is the order book. So if you look at it, it's constantly moving and the sizing is changing, and then people are buying and selling those orders as they come in. And if you place you can click on, that's something that people never do, right? You can actually click on individual orders in that order book and you can buy and sell them. People don't know. People just realize you just buy at market. But in reality, you can actually pick orders. And some people do that. They buy what they want at the price they want and they select it from the order book. But anyway, people with high frequency trading bots, you have differentiations from exchanges. So Gate has more liquidity than, say, Bitmart. So if I buy $100 worth of VEMP on Bitmart, the candle will move higher because it will have a thinner order book, which means that you have to eat more orders to fill your own. So let's say the price goes from 2 cents to 3 cents on Bitmart. Meanwhile, you've got Gate, somebody else buys the same and it goes up from 2 to 2.5. You then have a high frequency trading bot which does the arbitrage. So what they will do is they'll sell enough VEMP to have a 0.5% impact on Bitmart to bring it in line. And that way, that's how you can sell with zero price impact any coin. So as long as you employ the help of a market maker, whether you're a founder or a VC, for example, a lot of investee protocols will offer their investors to use their market makers to sell, because they can sell without the price impact. So that's how it works. Basically, it's by only selling tokens when there's an arbitrage opportunity to do so, because it means that you're never holding back any growth. You're just keeping charts in line. So that's how it works, basically. High frequency trading bots. Let's see what else we got. Anyone else who's wanting to ask a question, put it into the comments now. Lol. If we all just listen to folks who've been through shit, we could accelerate crypto adoption and decelerate blow ups like Luna and such. That'd be far too sensible.
I remember back in the day when we were trading on like the Aussie exchanges, we'll put in like a bit of money into them, and you saw the candles. Like we're buying Ethereum. One stage we bought $1 million in Ethereum. The candle was like this, and we bought it, went boom, 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 and it just went nuts. And like later on, you see some of the trades again. Later on, that was nothing. That was like a pube in the ocean. But back in the day when you were trading that like volume in there, you could see the amount of candles changing and like price impact was huge. So I think that's why they do need those bots out there for things, because it does make a massive difference on it.
Yeah, well, I think people don't realize as well the impact of a high versus low liquidity market. Like if you're selling or buying the VEMP chart right now, your candle will be so much more, I say so much more effective. It will have a much bigger impact because there isn't the same amount of buyers or sellers moving stuff about, just like on an exchange. But people don't realize how liquidity also comes into it. Like there is so many things that you learn being in it for a while. In fact, most of my team who, whenever somebody new joins vEmpire, the thing that they usually comment on is that they didn't realize how crooked exchanges are and how market making works. That's usually their two biggest shocks. Here we are. We got
You just buy like a meme coin or something, you buy into like, yes, I'm rich, and then you try to sell it, it's like, yeah, it's not happening.
yeah. What's favorite Aussie crypto protocols?
Oh, I don't know. I don't have too many favorite Aussie ones.
It has to be. That was the question.
Do you have a preferred favorite Aussie one?
I don't know any.
Yeah, no one likes us Aussies.
Fair enough. How about Aussie exchange?
On projects like the guy done Sidus, Dan Kamenko. He was a Aussie-based guy, so he's done some big projects in the past. Like Sidus, look what he's done with that. I'd say there's a famous Aussie person, not a protocol. Someone I like in the industry.
What about exchanges? Are there any Aussie exchanges?
The main exchanges they're using here is probably CoinSpot or that SwiftX. They're like our two most used exchanges here. That's our Aussie-based ones.
I've heard of SwiftX. Somebody told me to try and get VEMP listed, and I think I messaged them once, but I can't really remember it, to be honest. I didn't know they get much volume. Actually, I'm saying that I don't know if they do, but I presume they would. It's a big country. Then again, it is a lot of people.
Slow people. No kangaroos.
Got a couple with some money hopping around. Right, so we've got how am I analyzing Bitcoin? Are you expecting a downfall? I'll save my comments until because we've also got a town hall event later, I think. Considering tonight's oh no, sorry, I thought he meant considering tonight's conference as in our town hall, but what he actually means is the FOMC meeting that we have. well, I say that we have, that Jerome Powell, the Federal Exchange, has. It could be absolutely anything, to be honest. Interest rates are a joke in how low they are, which means that they could easily, if I was them, I would hike them by about 2%. That's like way over expectations. People are expecting between, the consensus is 75 basis points. The range is between 50 and 100. So 0.5% to 1%. Yeah, if I was them, I would hike it to like 2%. It will absolutely destroy the market, but that will happen anyway. If they do 50, I think the market will tank because it's not enough, and people will know it's not enough, and it will just kick the can down the road and make it worse. If they do 75, I think we'll probably go up. If they do 100, I think we'll be flat. Anything more than that will collapse. But that's what's needed, because we need to just get it out of the way, which is why I'd say I'd raise it to 2%.
Flush everyone out.
Well, yeah, because the problem is inflation's the highest it's been in the US since 1981. Mm-hmm. And in 1981, the interest rate at the peak to control it was 21%. Right now we're at 1%, and we think that we can hike it by 50 basis points and it will have any impact. It's like so dumb. Like, just people have forgotten the average interest rate before the financial crisis was always between 2 and 5%. 2% was the lowest it had ever been before 2009. And the interest rate average before that was like between 4 and 5%. But nobody remembers anymore, because it's been almost 15 years since that was the average. So everyone presumes that normal now is between 0 to 2%, when it's not. That is like super low. It's even been negative in like Japan, Europe. So people have forgotten that 4 to 5% used to be normal, but now the whole economy is collapsing, and Europe hasn't even raised rates for over 10 years. And they can't even like get above a quarter, half, or 1% interest rate. It's extremely worrying, because it's not even a high interest rate. Like 1% rise is minimal. It's pathetic. But
people are really comfortable. But like, I've seen my own mates, like they've bought properties that are just like, interest rate's nothing, I'll buy it, I'll do it. They've never been burnt yet. Like my age group, they didn't go through that. But I've seen my grandparents now, they had interest rates was like 18-20% here in Australia at one stage. And I think people have been too comfortable. So if this does hit us now, it's going to hurt a lot of people, but it'll kind of give them like the burn that they need, so they know in the future, hey, be careful and watch how much you're actually investing in what you're doing. But it's going to be some rough times for people coming up, like the average person. I mean, they're going to get hit hard by it.
96% odds for a 0.75 hike. No way. I don't like those odds. The fact that they're that sure means it's not going to be that, in my opinion. That is way too consensus. I actually think that they're going to be stupid. Knowing the Fed and knowing their intention is to profit from things getting really bad by seizing everybody's assets, I'd say that they're going to do 0.5%. Screw everybody even more. I think 0.5%. 0.75, I wouldn't be surprised, because it is the consensus. But I have a sneaky suspicion that they're going to throw a spanner in the works and just screw people.
That's what they do for fun. Just take the average person and stab them in the back.
Always been the way. Always has been. It's like that meme. Shooting the other spaceman in the back. I wonder where that came from. Oh well. Right. Now we get to a stage where I ask for final questions. Nobody asks them, and then as I wrap up, somebody comments in, which is why I then elongate this end part for as long as possible. I just carry on talking, just to make sure that nobody is actually going to ask any more questions. Some smart Alec always comes in at the last minute and asks a question.
as you're wrapping up. That seems to be the case.
It hasn't been the case this time. To be fair, we've had comments, just not questions. But yeah, thanks for joining us, mate.
No problems. Enjoyed my time.
Especially with how late it is where you are. But yeah, thanks for joining us to the audience as well. Jump into the Discord and have a look around. As a reminder, the Bounty URL is
Krypto Playboy Group, KPG. Nice and simple, KPG.
nice. Perfect. All right, everyone. I am actually not going to be here for next week's Build CEO show. You're going to have a hairy CMO show, I think. Or a hairy COO show. Sounds bad, doesn't it?
Hairy, we're talking.
Not significant. Just a good amount, I reckon.
With lustrous hair like this, or
No way. We didn't even get time to talk about the best hairdo in crypto, did we?
I got an award for it. Self-proclaimed.
Fair enough. That's like my reward of centralization vanquisher of the year.
Yeah, that's a good story, that one. Not long to go to lose it, yeah?
Here we go.
He's got it on hand.
Yep. My brother made this up for me after I got the reward. Somebody make sure that make sure that you enter me into like 2022, everybody watching. I don't know if they've even got it open or whether they do repeats, but if there has never been a 21 and 22 or consecutive winner, I think we're ready for it. I think the world is ready for it. I think we can do it. I think that there is centralization that needs vanquishing, not just in 1 year, in every year. We can do it.
You can rub it in again for another year.
All right, we can do it, everybody. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining.
No problem. See you later.
See you later, mate. Bye.